Hello, welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today we're going to talk about Xbox platform and essentially that leading into PC gaming as well. So, if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. Now we've gotten to a point. We've gotten to a point where the last couple of years have been really good for performance in games, as well as visuals. We've seen some we've seen some beautiful games with 60 frames per second, ranging from like 1440p up to 4K. A lot of dynamic resolution scaling. For the most part, it's been pretty dang good. It's been really good. But now we're starting to see games like A Plague Tale, Gotham Knights, um, higher demanding games like Dying Light 2. All of these games that are coming out, and they're trying to utilize these next gen features, like ray tracing, stuff like that, and and it really does kind of adjust the performance in a way that we frankly we've grown accustomed to 60 frames per second. We've grown accustomed to the performance. Now, a lot of it, a lot of it really can be boiled down to, PlayStation, PlayStation and their never-ending quest to deliver on, higher visual quality, higher fidelity visuals, stuff like that. And I mean, it does have a knock-on effect for the gaming industry as a whole, because what third-party developer wants to not put out games that look as good as Sony, or at least try to get to that point? A lot of people, I've been saying this for a long time, for this whole generation, that I wish Sony would focus more on high, set their limit at 60 frames per second, and then push the visual boundaries as hard as they can from that point, from 60 frames a second. And everybody, people misunderstand or misconstrue or put in their mind that I'm against Sony and that stuff like that. No, that's not the case, because all the way back then, when I was saying this, I could see the return of 30 frames per second coming back. Yes, Sony has packed in a 60 frames per second mode with every single game they've launched. Every single one of them have had a 60 frames per second mode. And I'm not denying that. All of these games, usually range from about 1440p when they do that, and that's incredible. That is incredible. But then you get to third-party developers that don't have that Call of Duty money, and it's kind of like like the rich kid at school, and he's like talking to the poor kid. He's like, "Well, how come you don't have the same shoes or blah blah blah?" You know what I mean? Like, just being comfortable with that other people's money, or like that Call of Duty money or the Fortnite money or whatever else that Sony rakes in, because of their storefront. They get that extra money so they can invest that money into building out their games and having a longer dev cycle and stuff like that. And third-party developers just don't have that resource to be able to really push two separate modes, because let's face it, Sony's 1440p 60 modes are still incredibly beautiful, as is their their 4K 30 mode. So if they've got this money to do that, it really does kind of put third-party developers at a crossroads. And speaking of crossroads, I'm kind of at a crossroads too with how I want to proceed with content going forward with this channel, because bringing in the PC platform into this channel, it is going to be challenging, because a lot of this channel is built on that console experience. And if it wasn't for this channel, I don't think I would have ever got into the PC aspect of anything at all. So the way this channel is designed, and the way that the content I put out is designed, I don't see PC as being a bad thing to add to the mix, because I want you well informed. I want you guys to be well informed. I want you guys to understand and know your choices. There's no way I could change this channel from a console channel to a PC channel, because I first of all, I lack the necessary skills in PC gaming and the knowledge to be able to compete with any other channel out there when it comes to PC. Like I just can't do that. There's there's too much that I would have to go through to try to do that, and I feel more comfortable at a console level being able to make content and produce content and get that out there. But we are going to work PC into this channel as more of a learning experience for all of us, so that you know and you understand and you can make that decision what's right for you. Because face it, man, a lot of people, a lot of us can't afford to go out and buy PCs to get that maximum content. Like they can't do that, and I understand that, and I don't want to be negative on some of these games that are going to be coming out at 30 frames a second, because what's the point of that? What's the point of that? Like I don't want to be negative, because if that's the only experience that you can get on your console for that game, that's the only experience you're going to be able to get on your console for that game. There's no sense in being negative or being, yeah, I don't want to be negative toward those games. Gotham Knights, I do still kind of stand by, maybe wait a month until Black Friday to see if the price does come down for Black Friday, to see if maybe it's a better deal for you. Because let's face it, man, playing a game at 30 frames per second after the last 2 years is being like just joking, 60 FPS. No, that's not going to happen. That kind of feels messed up. Like, it kind of feels messed up. It doesn't feel like it's, moving. It doesn't feel like it's moving forward. It kind of feels like it's regressing to a certain extent. But when it comes to Xbox first party games and Xbox, the experience, this is why it's important that Xbox gain market share this generation, because they are 100% committed to pushing the performance. And I said that for a while, like I've always felt like my Xbox is a more consistent experience, because not only am I getting the better visuals, I'm getting good enough visuals with better performance. So that really makes things a lot better in the whole scheme of things. And I wish PlayStation would get on board with that, but I don't see them giving up that quality throne to go for performance. I don't see them doing it, but I do see them, doing a quality 1440p mode. It's just a question of our third-party developers going to be able to meet that going forward. And it does suck, and it does put a lot of stress and pressure on the industry as a whole when everybody's trying to compete for better visuals and still deliver a performance mode. So it is an interesting time we live in, but I can guarantee you that a lot of things are possible on these consoles that we just don't know yet, because they're not even being truly fully utilized to use everything in these consoles. So once we start seeing that, then we'll have a better ground to stand on. But as it sits right now, I'm going to be bringing PC more into this channel. Maybe covering certain games on that, like especially games that I'm really looking forward to and really want to play. Maybe I'll, because I'm going to be honest with you, sometimes I'm not going to be able to afford to buy 2 copies, and in certain games I'm going to want to try to experience that, with the best way possible, or at least, be able to put some content out. But we got a lot of content planned this week. Probably not as many live streams, because I got so many games. I've got like back-to-back games. I got Ghostbusters, I got Plague's Tale, I got The Valiant, we've got Call of Duty campaign, we've got a lot. We've got a lot this week. So, man, Gotham Knights. So if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.